for those who don't know, Steven Nelson, who played pretty well for the Texans last season, is looking for a contract extension. The unfortunate thing for Steven Nelson is that, say the Texans decide to move on from him this offseason, they would save nearly $4 million. I was taking a look at players up and down the roster that make sense as surprise cuts late in camp. Christian Kirksey's number one. They would save over 5 if they get rid of him. Nelson, in a very crowded cornerback room that also added Shaquille Griffin to it, who played very well in this Seattle version of this defensive system that D'Amico Ryans is running a couple of years ago. Nelson is, I think, a possible surprise cut. Because I think he played well last year, but I don't think he took the position by storm. The Texans secondary was good, but is he replaceable? He might be. Anyway, Nelson posted this to his Instagram story last night. It's a picture of a vest. The caption over this vest reads, "Can't trust AMF," we all know what that stands for, mother bleeper, "that wear these for every day of the week. Clown freak." And I don't think this is going to help Steven Nelson get what he wants. But here's what I've heard from people closer to Nelson. The Texans don't want to cut Steve. He's their second best corner. You are allowed to be unhappy with your contract. Nick isn't the boss. When I brought up, cap figures easy to move on from, save some money, Shaq Griffin's back. He continued by saying, Griffin's got a back issue. D'Amico and Nick had told Steve that something was going to happen with his contract. And since he's the 40th paid corner in the NFL, the Texans are like, well, we want to reward you. And I guess Nick hugging him at minicamp / D'Amico asking Steven how much money he wanted are all things that have Steven annoyed that that extension hasn't happened. Now, I don't think this is the way to expedite that process, calling your general manager a clown freak, because that's 100% what you're doing here. Have you, Sean, ever asked for a raise after calling your boss a clown freak on social media? I mean,
on social media? No.
Well, there's a chance that Nick doesn't see this because it's on social media. And Nick does not strike me as somebody who has an Instagram, let alone a TikTok. It's possible that this is something that goes completely under the radar.
It's not possible.
I don't know, Sean.
It's not possible that that Nick Caserio is on his phone and he's like, oh, I want to, I follow my players. I want to see what's on their stories. What's on good old Steve Nelson? Oh, clown freak. I don't think that happens, but I'm sure if we're talking about it, if we're discussing it on our show, I'm sure someone in the Texans organization has been like, or will at some point be like, hey Nick, you see this?
Nick, what do you think of your cornerback who's looking for an extension calling you a clown freak because you wear a vest to work every day? In Steven Nelson's defense,
I kind of agree with you.
It's bleeping hot outside.
Yeah.
You're wearing a vest. I get it. It might be cold inside. Maybe you're one of those Northeasterners who are like, why is there air conditioning on everywhere? And you're going to write an op-ed in the New York Times about how it's making your nipples pointy at work. But hey, maybe that's you. But still, it's so effing hot this time of year. What are you doing wearing a vest? And I feel like we've seen Caserio wearing a vest past February. It is nice in Houston past February. There's the occasional cold day in January and December, right? If you're wearing a vest, though, in any month in Texas that's not October, November, December, or January, You are a freak.
Clown freak?
Yeah, I'm with Steven Nelson here. And I like Nick Caserio. I do. I think he gets a bad rap. I like the guy works out. Obviously, he was a part of the greatest dynasty in sports history with the New England Patriots. There's a lot of things that I like about Caserio. But if we're being factual, if we are being honest, Caserio wearing a vest is clown freak behavior. It is.
I never considered until you mentioned it that it might be a nipple issue. Maybe he's self-conscious about like nipping hard.
Does he have dinner plates? I don't know. I have tiny nipples. I have really tiny nipples. They're alarmingly tiny. And it's weird because the chest hair I have, like, I weirdly
There's
don't.
lost in there?
I don't have much chest hair. I don't. I'm very fortunate. I have no back hair. But around my nipples, it grows like a lion's mane. It's hilarious. And they're really tiny, too. And I'm like, should I leave the lion's mane in to make them look less tiny? These are the things I think about when I manscape.
Clown freak.
But here's the other thing, too. Nick is jacked. Why are you wearing a vest?
Yeah.
Rock that bod. Paul, this is another sign. Granted, he's in great shape. He should never wear that vest, ever. I don't know what he's doing.
So, also, this didn't occur to me until just now. The way I saw this was on the Texans Reddit. Obviously, there's eyes and ears in the Texans Reddit because of Cal McNair. So maybe Cal brought this to Nick's attention, being like, hey, I was surfing the web and
Nick, Steve's got a point. You're a clown freak with your vest on, bro.
Yeah, and we have to keep the AC much lower in here because you're a clown freak wearing a vest. And
I gotta turn the air conditioning up.
Yeah,
I'm in my office playing video games. Yeah. You can't do that.
I had to bring a blanket in.
I really hope that Cal McNair, who I believe has been confirmed to have been playing Zelda, I really hope he got into the new Breath of the Wild. Have you seen the clips from that game? That game seems awesome.
I've seen my brother play it.
I want to switch.
There's like, you can like make machines and stuff in that.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I want to play it. I love Zelda, but I haven't played a game since Twilight Princess. Like, Zelda was my favorite video game franchise for a really long time, and I used to go out of my way to make sure that I could get it on whatever console. But then there's the Wii, and I was like, the Wii's stupid. And then they the Switch came out, so there's Skyward Sword, and I think 2 Breath of the Wilds, and maybe there's another.
No,
one
this one's called something else. The new one.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, and there was like Tears of the Kingdom too.
Yeah.
Is this that?
Yeah, Tears or Tears. I don't know. Tears of the Kingdom.
Fun times.